Shalom. This message of daily edification is being brought to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Bashem Kadash, all praises due to you, R.O.I and AUSTERE family. All right. Lesson today. I just want to speak about the kingdom. I think some of you get what the kingdom is going to be like starting here. All right. Eternity really starts now by us being filled with the Most High's word, his promises. All right. Everything that comes along with it, we're getting information that we haven't been privy to for thousands of years. And it's just now starting to come to pass in real time. This is a very exciting time to be living in because we're seeing prophecies fulfilled, like I say, right now in real time. And what I wanted to speak to you about today was the kingdom. Just some straight talk. I was talking to one of the bennies yesterday, and it's always enlightening when I talk to them because there's always something new that's mind-blowing. And well, let me get a couple of precepts to start it off with. I went home geeking yesterday, like big. All right, let's go to St. John 14:1. He says, let not your heart be, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, red letter. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Father, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go before you. I go to prepare a place before you. All right. Wait a minute. Salat. I go to prepare a place for you. All right. Verse 3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. All right. Let me get another precept. This is let's go to John chapter 18, verse 33. And he says, then Pilate, this is when Yahweh Shah was on trial in front of Pilate. Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Yahweh Shah unto him. He said, art thou the king of the Jews? Now, the king of the Jews, we know the last king was who? King Solomon. All right. As far as being a king over the northern and southern kingdom, that was Solomon. He was the last one. After that, the kingdom split. So he's the last full-fledged king of Israel. All right. Verse 34. Yahweh Shah answered him, sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell thee of me? So he's like, how did you come across that information? Then Pilate says in 35, am I a Jew? He said, your own nation and chief priests have delivered you unto me. What hast thou done? And look at verse 36. Yahweh Shah answered, he said, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. All right. So if he says his kingdom is not of this world, it has a dual meaning, because in the scriptures, Israel, all right, is Yahweh Shai and Yahweh's world. Okay. When he says the world, he's talking about Israel. But his kingdom is from everlasting to everlasting. Let me get another precept. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 27. All right. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 27. It might be a little blip on your computer screen. Had a little technical difficulty. All right. So if you saw something jump or maybe a car pull up, then don't geek out. Sometimes I would have to reset my my tablet. But anyway, Daniel 7 and 27. It says, "And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him." All right. So, our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. All right. Let's go to Psalms 145, verse 13. "Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations." All right. All generations. An everlasting kingdom. I don't know if all of you really understand what that's saying. All right. When it says an everlasting kingdom, that means it's never going to end. All of these nations, all right, they had their chance to rule. They had the chance to rule. All right. And these Japhites, along with Esau, this is it for them. This is it. They're never going to get a chance to rule again. That's why the Most High, he raised up these different nations where they had a chance to rule. You saw what they did. They fucked everything up. And then they were taken out of power. And now, these Japhites, all right, their time is done, man. All right. When that video series, The Bomb, that was explaining the end of their rulership. All right. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 4. And it reads, "Lift up thy eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side." Verse 5. "Then thou shalt see and flow together." All right. We're going to flow together as a people, as a nation, as a family. "And your heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee, and the forces," all right, the resources, the wealth, everything they have of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. This is going to be the great exchange. You need to understand. I'm going to try to, wow. I'm going to try to explain this in as much detail as I can, because it's huge. When the scripture says that the Most High is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that you can ask or think, this is going to stretch your mind. All right. Now, I'm happy and glad that we were able to get through the bomb 1 through 5. I think that's probably the hardest, most difficult breakdown I've had to do in my life. And I'm glad it's on record now. I'm glad it was done. I'm glad it's been deposited in your hearts and spirits. But there's so much more. But we're in the door now. So you guys saw the land grant. All right. You saw the 500 quattro decillion dollar amount, because that's how much it is. 500 quadrillion. You can Google it, all right? And there are amounts bigger than that. But the Most High is not finished, man. That land grant is basically just small potatoes, man. Talking to one of the Bennies yesterday, man. I'm riding home, right? And he's like, there's more than that. I was like, I know there's more, but like, man, how much? There's no way to narrow it down, man. There's no way to make sense of it. It's a ridiculous amount of wealth, okay? We're going to live lavish like you won't believe, all right? When the kingdom says from everlasting to everlasting, let me try to explain it. And I know this message this morning is probably a little unorthodox from the way I do it, but my mind was just melted on the way home yesterday, man. It really was. All right, so that's why I say these guys are just, man. So, along with the land grants, all right, they have accounts. Every country has bank accounts, just like you have a bank account for your own household, right? You might have expenses, bills, miscellaneous, food, all of that stuff, right? Every country has basically a standard of 850 accounts per nation. That's a lot of bank accounts. So you imagine 850 accounts for the U.S., 850 accounts for Canada, 850 accounts for France, 850 accounts for Japan, 850 accounts for Germany, East and West, 850 accounts for the Philippines, 850 accounts all over the planet, Africa, 850 accounts. This is how many accounts it takes to house the wealth of the country. You can't put it all in one. It's called diversification, all right? That's why if you got a household, it's best to diversify your funds between 6 to 7 different areas so that all of your eggs are not in one basket. Cities do it. Anybody that's smart, a smart manager of money does it. They don't put all of their eggs in one basket, because if that basket drops, everything goes with it. So when you diversify your accounts, all right, when one account takes a hit, if you got 7 accounts, the other 6 can go and revitalize that one account. All right, that's how you do it. You never put all your eggs in one basket. It's called diversification of funds. All right, and these are what countries do. They've diversified their funds because of the large amount of populace to 850 different accounts. Now, each one of these accounts, all right, there's billions in each one. I'm trying to break this down so you get it. Billions of dollars in each account. And there's 850 accounts with billions of dollars in each one. And because there's billions of dollars in each account through 850 diversified accounts on a global scale, I don't know a calculator that can crack that. All right. So when you look at that on a global scale, and this entire country is now bankrupt. All right. It's bankrupt. And then you find out that it's bankrupt because, all right, you read verse 5 in Isaiah chapter 60. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance, that's the abundance, the 850 diversified accounts, the land grants, everything, the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles, all right? That's what it's talking about. All of that is being converted to the 1/3. All right. All of that's being converted to the 1/3. All right. Now that's some reparations for your ass, isn't it? Let's go to uh let's go to Isaiah 65, verse 13. You know, matter of fact, verse 11. Isaiah 65 and 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, that furnish the drink offering unto that number, you disobedient scoffers. Verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall bow down to the slaughter, because when I called you did not answer, when I spake you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. All right, getting that out the way. Verse 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord power shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. All right. So, those that are not listening now, you scoffers, you will end up in the wilderness. And this is how we're going to eat. This is how we're going to drink. All right. This is how we're going to do it. All right. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 12. All right. Verse 2. He says, behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. All right. So we know that Jerusalem is a people that moves. Jerusalem is all over this planet. That's why the eyes of the Most High are on us wherever we are. Okay? He says, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. What is a siege? When you surround somebody, all right, to take what they got. If you ever seen these old war movies where they got a castle or a compound and the enemies around them, and they're firing rockets at them and blowing them up because they're trying to beat them down so that they can get in there and take what they got. All right? This is why I can tell you time and time again, we're not going to be in a wilderness, all right, eating bugs. We're going to be living so lavish, it's going to be ridiculous. And that's what we are waiting on right now. All right? Because they're going to see us prospering when everybody is failing. Why? Because the Most High is sick of them. Their time is up. The curses are going to be turned on our enemies, and that's what's happening now. This entire planet is bankrupt. All right? I'm going to get to that in a minute. Verse 3. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. Why? Because they're going to have to look at us prospering. Okay? And I don't mean prospering like Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. No. It's going to make him look like a pauper, a homeless person with trash bags for shoes. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. If you're not Israel, and I mean the 1/3, you fucked. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. All of the haters that's going to be looking on are going to get cut to pieces. Look here. Though all the people of the earth, all right, the earth, that's the entire planet. Didn't I say this entire planet is bankrupt? Yes, it is. Right now, Donald Trump is, all right, the trustee in bankruptcy. He is going across this globe collecting all the wealth for a few men because of Title 50. All right? Title 50 appendix. All right? The claim that was filed that broke an entire planet because nobody was supposed to know about it. Okay? This is scripture. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered against it. None of this would have ever made sense at any other different in any time throughout the timeline in history, all right, because it hadn't came to pass yet. This is what I'm saying. The scriptures are being fulfilled right now. You can't deny it. Look around. Look at the news. I gotta find the clip and I'm going to show it to you guys there if I can get hold of it. They actually said it. I saw it. They said Donald Trump is the trustee in bankruptcy. So they let it slip out. Okay? Title 50. That was the only file. When he's a trustee in bankruptcy, that means somebody filed a claim. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look at verse 4. And that day saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness, and I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Look here, verse 5. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength in the Lord of hosts, their power. What does that mean? That means that the governors who are on this channel right now, a lot of you brothers, I mean, you don't know it. Some of you do, some of you don't. You will be our protection. All right? This is why you have to get yourself together. This is why you have to get a spiritual mindset. Get out of a nigger mentality and get into a rulership mentality. All right? Yes, we're going to live good. We're going to live better than good. But get out of that nigger spirit and get into a rulership mentality. Let me read what it says right here. It says, they shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength. We're going to be the reason you fight. You're going to have the love in your heart to want to protect us. You're going to have it in your heart that we don't have anybody else but you. You are the governors. We don't have a U.S. Army no more. We don't have a U.S. Marine Corps. There's no Navy SEALs. They weren't fighting for us anyway. They were fighting for themselves, and we just happened to be here. They have no love for us, but you will. You'll be ready. You'll be trained. You're going to have it in your heart to want to defend us. Your women, your wives, your children, your mothers. All right? The inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and in the Lord of hosts their power. You're going to be fighting for the Most High, for the kingdom that we're going to build. All right? Verse 6. And that day will I make the governors of Judah like a hearth of fire among the wood. All right? A hearth of fire. He's going to turn you up, and like a torch of fire in a sheath. And they shall devour all the people round about. Why? Because they're going to try to move in and take what we have. But it ain't going down like that this time. All right? On the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place. Colorado, North Carolina, South Dakota, starting off. And then it's going to spread. When that title is dropped, when that Title 50 appendix is dropped and the beneficiaries take delivery on it, then we're going to begin to build. And when we begin to build, the world's going to see it. And they're going to hate us for it. They're going to hate that we're not on the bottom anymore. They're going to hate that the roles have been switched. According to Deuteronomy 30:7. He's going to begin to put the curses upon our enemies that were always upon us. Then they're going to be able to get used to seeing us shine and shine brighter than they ever thought they could. Verse 7. And the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, and the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Here's the thing. You got to know who David is. All right? If it's called the house, it's got to be called the house of David. You got to know who he is. He has to be declared in this time. That's been done. Verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. How can the feeble be as David if they don't know who he is? And the house of David shall be as the power, and the angel of the Lord before him. The house of David are the governors, right? That's you men. So you need to understand that. You want to see how you're going to get turned up? Let's go to the book of Micah, right? Let's go to the book of Micah, verse 4, chapter 11. It says, now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. They're going to be looking on us to take what we got. This is all through the scriptures, all right? This part always makes me laugh, all right? It says, now also many nations are gathered, all right, against thee, that say, let her be defiled, all right, and let our eye look upon Zion. Let us go take their shit. They're not equipped. We got drones, we got planes, we got tanks, we got helicopters. We're just going to go and take it from them. Yeah, they want to claim, they want the Title 50 and all that, but fuck that. We're going to still take it. We're going to take it by force. But no, that's not going to happen. Now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, let her be defiled. Let's take their things, and let our eye look upon Zion. Verse 12. That's the part that makes me laugh. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves onto the floor. He like, come on, all of y'all. Come get what I got for you. You're going to come against my people. Yep, you got tanks, you got rocket launchers, you got guns, you got everything. And I like it like that. Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. He knows that. He knows what you got. He gave it to you. But look what he says. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thy horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. They ain't taking shit. All right? Let me get another precept. Luke 11. Right? Luke 11, verse 21. It says, when a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. You think the Most High is going to bless us with all of the world's wealth and not give us a way to defend ourselves? There's no way. You can't do that. That's like moving in a bad neighborhood, driving a Bentley. It's like moving in the Pueblo projects at the damn Imperial Courts down here in LA with a Bentley and parking it outside. What you think gonna happen? Every nigga in the neighborhood, oh, they got money, man. They gonna try to kick your door in. You better have something. So what do you think is gonna happen when the whole world sees the wealth that the Israelites have through the 1/3, right? What do you think is gonna happen? They're gonna come and try to take it. All right? That's why the scripture is clear. Luke 11:21. When a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. You got to be armed. Verse 22. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, he taketh from him all his armor wherein he trusted, and divideth his spoils. All right? So, when we're with the Most High, all right, which we are, we got our power back. He's going to give us his power. All right? Let's go to Psalms 91. Something I think y'all might have missed. We're going to bring it to light. Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In him will I trust. Do we do that? Yes, we do. Verse 3, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. We trust in that. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Therefore shall no evil befall thee. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Now, here's the part I want you to zero in on. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. I told you when we get the land, we get the power. We are going to make contact with angels, and they're going to be given charge over us. And in my estimation, it's going to be these angels that disperse the weaponry that we need to be able to properly fend off any attacks, anything that comes against us. We're going to be supernaturally empowered. We're going to be supernaturally armed. All right? Look what it says in verse 12. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Why? Because he's given us a means to protect ourselves now. All right? We will never be a victim again. Because, see, Title 50 goes a lot deeper than you think. The Title 50 appendix, yes, the entire planet will be for the Israelites. But it goes into the far reaches of space. In that title, it goes into the celestials. All right? There's a clause in that contract that says that the entire earth is in this claim and all therein. And it goes all the way to the moon. What nation on this planet has went into the far out reaches of space? All right? United States. And who was this claim with? The United States and everybody under it. All right? So because that happened, everything that the U.S. owned, everything that was under the U.S. dollar for the Universal Commercial Code comes to the 1/3 through the beneficiaries. They're the funnel. All right? And because of that, okay, because of that, the United States is the only country that has ventured out off of this planet, off world. What did R.O.I say? He said, my kingdom is not of this world. This is why our kingdom is going to go from everlasting to everlasting.